Hello boys and girls, welcome to TalentSprint. I have got some great news for all of you and the moment has finally arrived. Yes, the official IBPS PO recruitment notification for the year 2017 has been released. You have heard it right. The official notification for the recruitment of probationary officers or so-called management trainees by IBPS for the year 2017 has been released by IBPS minutes ago. Well, it's 1:30 by my watch, and if you remember, we had met about an hour or hour and a half ago discussing that the notification may be released in the next 24 to 48 hours. While it was a tentative information that we had, but now it's confirmed and official that the notification has finally come out, and I'm here to discuss the same with all of you, right? So let me repeat. Yes, the official notification for the recruitment of probationary officers by IBPS has been released just a few minutes ago, and hoping that we are the first ones to break this news to all of you. While today is the last day to apply for the IBPS RRB examination, we also have the other notification already out. So you have this gateway of opportunities coming out from IBPS for setting up your career in the banking industry. Right now, let me quickly take you through this official notification which has been released by IBPS. Here we go. So this is the common recruitment process. I've got a printout with me in my hand, and this is official, as you can see, right? A good 20-page notification, application for which will start day after tomorrow, which is 16th of August, right? It starts from the 16th of August. So let me quickly take you through this official notification. I'm sure our team will be posting the link for this notification in the chat as well, so that you can go through it yourself in detail after this live streaming is done. All right, so here we go. Now, this is the common recruitment process for the recruitment of probationary officers / management trainees in the participating organizations, which are the various nationalized banks. And as you all know, this is the common recruitment examination, common written examination for PO or MT, number 7 for vacancies of 2018 and 19, right? The official notification which I have in my hand now is available on ibps.in. You know the official website, ibps.in. It has got this official notification out there. Please go through that yourself in detail after this live session or live streaming is done, right? In this next 10 to 15 minutes, I will quickly run you through the important parts, important sections of this notification, and also tell you some major changes that have been brought in place in this year's recruitment. When we met in the morning, I told you that the scheme of examination would largely remain the same, right? And the recruitment process would also remain the same. But then apparently they have changed the recruitment process. They have changed the scheme of the main examination, which we will discuss in a few minutes from now. So let me start with all the important information here, right? Now, you know that what usually happens in this IBPS recruitment, right? There are all these participating organizations, which are the nationalized banks, which give out the vacancies or the requirement that they have, and IBPS conducts a common examination to fill up all these vacancies. All right, so let us start with listing out all these participating organizations. All right, so here we go. As you all can see, the participating organizations here are Allahabad Bank, Andhra Bank, Bank of Baroda, Bank of India, Bank of Maharashtra, Canara Bank, Central Bank of India, Corporation Bank, Dena Bank, IDBI Bank. Well, the list is there in the notification. Let me just run through the other banks here, right? Indian Bank, Indian Overseas Bank, Oriental Bank of Commerce, Punjab National Bank, Punjab and Sindh Bank, Syndicate Bank, the UCO Bank, Union Bank of India, United Bank of India, and Vijaya Bank. So there are like 5 times 4, 20 participating organizations which would be recruiting probationary officers or management trainees through the common written examination, which will be conducted by IBPS this year. All right, so that's about the participating organizations, which again is an important piece of information, because you got to give your priority order when you apply for this examination, right? When you apply for this recruitment. So based on your own choice of organizations, you can have your own list. We will also come out with the most ideal list that you can opt for when you're applying for this examination. All right, let's move to the next important part, or in fact, I would say the most important part of the notification, which is the calendar of events, right? So let me take you through the calendar of events here. All right, so the calendar of events, while we had discussed this in the morning itself when the tentative notification was out, which highlighted that the application would start from the 16th of August, which is the day after tomorrow, and it would end on 5th of September, right? 5th of September. So we have about 20 days, right? Good 20 days window to apply for this examination. And the next important date was the date of online examination, which was 7th October, right? 7th October, 8th October, 14th and 15th October. So these are the 4 days on which the online examination, the preliminary examination would be conducted, followed by a main examination on the 26th of November. Okay, so those were the important dates. But now that the official notification has been released, and I have a copy of which in my hand, it's also available on our website, the links of which can be seen in the chat here. Let me take you through all the important dates which have been given here, right? So we start with the online registration, which includes editing and modification of the application by candidates. So this is going to happen from 16th August to 5th September, like we've already discussed, right? The payment of application fee or the intimation charges, which also has to be done online, will be also during the same window, right? 16th August to 5th of September. What follows is the download of call letters for pre-examination training. Now, you know that there's this pre-examination training which IBPS conducts as a mandatory rule set up by the Government of India for the reserved classes, right? So the download of call letters for pre-examination training would begin in September. The date has not been given here, but it will happen in September. And the pre-examination training would be held from 23rd September to 29th September. So this is like a week-long training which will be done from 23rd September to 29th September. Now, the most important part is the download of call letters for online preliminary examination, right? You know that the recruitment here is done in 2 phases, right? There's a phase 1, which is a preliminary examination, followed by phase 2, a main examination. So the call letters for the online preliminary examination can be downloaded in the month of September, right? The exact date has not been given there, but we'll get to know this through the updates from IBPS from time to time. All right. Now, main examination, the online examination would be held, like I've mentioned, from 7th October onwards, right? Online examination preliminary will be held from 7th October onwards. In fact, there are 4 dates here: 7th, 8th, 14th and 15th October, right? So these are the 4 dates on which the preliminary examination for the recruitment of POs would be held. Now, if you're wondering why is the preliminary examination going to be held over 4 days, it's simple. Huge competition. We have seen it in the past, and the history says that the number of applicants for IBPS PO, or for that matter an SBI PO exam or any bank exam in that case, runs into tens of lakhs, right? So, you know, it is being speculated that there will be at least 20 lakh students across the country who will be, fighting out for these jobs as probationary officers through the common written examination by IBPS, right? So it's obvious that you cannot handle such a crowd, such a big crowd in a day's time, right? So that is the reason it has been spread over 2 weekends or 4 days, which is 7th, 8th, 14th and 15th October. Obviously, what follows this would be the result for preliminary examination, which will be declared in the month of October, right? And I'm sure all you smart guys who have been preparing for months together and will now expedite your preparation and make sure that you leave no stone unturned, will stand a very good chance and get a good news in the month of October, where you will be called for the next round, which is the main examination. Now, the call letters for main examination will be available from November onwards. The main examination as such would be held on 26th of November, right? 26th of November, followed by the results, which will be declared in December. And then those who all clear the main examination will be called for interview. The call letters for which can be downloaded from January, and interviews would happen in Jan or Feb 2018. And the provisional allotment, that is your dream bank jobs, would be allotted from April 2018 onwards. So we are in August here, which is the 8th month of the year, and the provisional allotment would begin in April. So we have about 8 months. Yes, you're just 8 months away from your dream bank job for the year 2017-18. All right, so guys, this time is really very, very crucial, right? The next 50 days that you have for your preliminary examination are going to be the game changer in your life, right? So if you're serious about your banking career, and if you wish to get your dream job, then make sure that you work really hard, work smart with the right strategy in these 50 days to crack the most difficult competition of the country, right? I am sure I can say that without any doubts, the most difficult competition, right? A really cutthroat competition, which is going to be held in the month of October, right? 7th October onwards. So make sure that you prepare really well and get your dream job in April 2018 through IBPS. So that's about the calendar of events. All right. Now, there are a lot of other things here in the notification. Let me quickly run through the important parts here, which is the eligibility criteria. Now, who are all eligible to take this examination? Well, you can read the details yourself. Let me just highlight the important points. You have to be a candidate who is a citizen of India or a subject of Nepal or a subject of Bhutan or a Tibetan refugee who came over to India before 1st January 1962 with the intention of permanently settling in India, or a person of Indian origin who has migrated from Pakistan, Burma, Sri Lanka. I'm not sure if you need so much of detail here, right? I mean, for whomever it is applicable, he will go through and understand. In fact, I don't understand half of these things, right? So, person of Indian origin who has migrated from Pakistan, Burma, Sri Lanka, East African countries of Kenya, Uganda, the United Republic of Tanzania, right? Zambia, Malawi, and all those countries. So I think just go through it yourself, right? So basically you have to be I can say that, you know, most of you would be citizens of India already. So you have to be citizen of India. Important, the age criteria, right? What's the age criteria? So as on 1st of August 2017, your minimum age has to be 20 years and the maximum age should be 30 years. So anyone who's between 20 to 30 years is eligible to appear for this recruitment process, right? And if I have to go into the specifics, a candidate must have been born not earlier than 2nd of August 1987 and not later than 1st of August 1997, both dates inclusive. So if you have, if your date of birth is earlier than 2nd of October 1987 or later than 1st August 1997, then you are not eligible for appearing for this examination. And I'm sure all of you have checked it in your head already if you are eligible for this examination or not. In fact, I can see my camera person checking you know, the dates herself. So same would be happening at your end also, right? And I'm sure most of you are eligible, right? You know that the age criteria is usually between 20 to 30 years here. Yeah, so you are most likely eligible to appear for this examination if you are in this age band. And of course there are relaxations for those who belong to the reserved categories. So there's some relaxations. I would request you all to go through it yourself. Now the next important component in the eligibility criteria is the educational qualification. So what is that? Now again, educational qualification as on 5th September 2017, right? Note it, 5th September 2017. It's not as on 1st August. If you recall, the age criteria was with respect to 1st August 2017, right? But the educational qualification is as on 5th September 2017, right? And this says that you must have a degree, which is a graduation, in any discipline from a university recognized by the Government of India or any equivalent qualification recognized as such by the central government. The candidates must possess valid mark sheet or degree certificate that he or she is a graduate on the day he or she registers, and indicate the percentage of marks obtained in graduation while registering online. Now let me throw some light on this one, right? I mean, all those details can be checked later, but basically you have to be a graduate to be eligible to appear for this examination, and that is with respect to your educational qualification, right? And you must be a graduate, or you should have a valid mark sheet or a degree certificate which validates that you were a graduate before the 5th of September 2017. Now, in the morning when we had met to discuss this tentative notification, which would be released in next 24-48 hours, I was told that there were questions on, am I eligible for this examination? I am in the final year of my BTech. Can I appear for this examination? So all those questions get answered now with this official notification, which has come a few minutes ago on the IBPS website, right? So it clearly states that you have to be a graduate in any discipline from a university recognized by the Government of India. Now, if you are in final year, can you apply? Well, simple answer is you must ensure that your final mark sheet or the degree certificate that you possess should state that you were declared a graduate before 5th of September. Now, I'm sure, given the kind of academic calendar that we have in our country, all those who were in the final year in the year 2017 must have qualified, right? And if you're still in the process of writing your examinations, which I don't think is the case, but if you are still in that process, ensure that you clear your examinations and get your degree certificates before 5th of September, right? Because when you apply for this examination, see, it very clearly states that the candidate must possess this valid mark sheet or the degree certificate that he or she is a graduate, and indicate the percentage of marks. So you will have to indicate your percentage of marks obtained in graduation while registering online. So basically it means if you want to apply on the 16th of August, which is day after tomorrow, as soon as the window is thrown open, if you want to apply for this exam, you must indicate your percentage of marks. So if you haven't got your mark sheet already, you cannot apply, right? So make sure that you have your mark sheet in place, you calculate your percentage. Again, the conditions and all would be mentioned in notification, and indicate that in your application. Now, by any chance, let's say if you are to get your final mark sheet only a week later or a couple of weeks later from now, wait for that to happen, right? If your mark sheet is going to be declared on 1st of September, wait until that happens, and only after that you can apply for this examination. I'm sure that's obvious from the notification there, right? Again, a lot of details have been given as to how to calculate the percentage and stuff like that, right? Where you have a CGPA or OGPA, etc. So you can just go through it yourself based on if it is really applicable to you or not, right? Again, there are reservation for persons with benchmark disabilities, right? So people who belong to the PWD category have got their own relaxations and reservations here. So please go through that in detail if it is applicable for you, and ensure that you satisfy all the criteria before you apply for this examination. So I think that's about the eligibility criteria. Let me now jump to one of the most important parts of the notification, which is the scheme of examination or the structure of examination. Now, you know that the recruitment here usually happens in two phases, right? There are two examinations which are conducted. First is a preliminary examination, followed by a main examination, right? And here is where we have seen a major change, a major change in this year's notification from IBPS for the recruitment of probationary officers. While still there would be two phases, phase 1 preliminary examination followed by a main exam, the main examination pattern has completely changed. I repeat, the pattern of the main examination or the structure of the main examination has been completely changed as against what it was last year. And what is the change? In simple words, it is a copy of the SBI PO main examination. We have seen this always, right? IBPS follows SBI, right? It just follows suit that way. So this year, the main examination pattern for IBPS PO exam has completely changed, and it is absolutely in line with the SBI PO examination. Let me now share those details with all of you, right? So you can see the structure of examination. It is there in the notification. Let me read it out for you. So here's the structure of online examination, right? Now, phase 1, like you all know, is a preliminary examination, which has the following sections. So there are 3 sections here: English language, quantitative aptitude, and reasoning ability. We will have 30 questions from English language, carrying a weightage of 30 marks, and 35 questions each in quantitative aptitude and reasoning ability. Weightage again is 35 marks in each of these sections, right? So altogether, if you see here, the number of questions, total number of questions in the preliminary examination will be 100. The total maximum marks is 100, and you will be given a composite time of 1 hour, right? You'll have a composite time of 1 hour to complete these 100 questions, to attempt these 100 questions. So there's no change. There's no change in the online examination, online preliminary examination, right? We have seen the same happening in the last 2-3 years, right? So quickly, English language, quantitative aptitude, and reasoning ability, 30 questions in English language and 35 each in the remaining 2 sections. Altogether 100 questions, 100 marks, and 1 hour of time. And as you all know, this is the most important stage in the recruitment process, right? This is where 90 to 95% of the candidates are filtered out, right? This is basically a elimination round, right? And a very tough competition. right? See, the fact that you have been given just 60 minutes to attempt 100 questions shows that it's going to be really difficult, right? 60 minutes and 100 questions across those 3 sections. Now you might be wondering, I mean, I usually get these questions from students that why is that they give so less time, right? I mean, when they want us to go through 100 questions, when they want us to attempt these 100 questions, why don't they give us enough time, right? I think the idea is simple. They are trying to find out who are the guys who can perform under pressure, right? It's all about time management, right? And if I ask you all, what do you think is the most important what do you think is the most important ability so that you can crack these exams? I'm sure all of you would say time management, right? Time management is really very, very crucial. So the idea, like I said, is to just see, while you say it is time management, I think they are trying to see how many of you can manage this time, or more importantly, how many of you can perform under pressure, right? Because it's obvious when there are only 60 minutes and 100 questions to be answered, that pressure starts building up, right? So all of you should really prepare hard for the preliminary examination. Having said that, you should not neglect the main examination, right? Because usually what happens is after the preliminary results are declared, you have hardly any time to for the main examination, right? So don't have a strategy where you will start your preparation for main exam only after you clear the prelims, right? I think that's a wrong strategy, right? That's not the way you should prepare. You should prepare keeping the final goal in your mind, right? You should have that confidence that I will clear the preliminary examination as well as the main examination. Okay, now let's quickly look at the main examination pattern here. You can see that it is not by any sequence as given in the notification itself. There are 4 sections here: reasoning and computer aptitude, general awareness / economy / banking awareness, then English language, and data analysis and interpretation. All right, so these are the 4 sections or 4 tests on which you will be tested. Now look at the number of questions and maximum marks allotted across different sections, right? You can see that it is clearly a copy of what happened in the SBIPU main examination, right? So reasoning and computer aptitude will have 45 questions. The weightage is 60 marks, right? So obviously there will be a few questions here which will carry a weightage of more than 1 mark, right? Then the next item here is general and banking awareness, which will have 40 questions, 40 marks. English language, 35 questions, 40 marks. And data analysis and interpretation will have 35 questions in it, and the weightage is 60 marks. So altogether, if you see, there are 155 questions, the maximum marks 200. And what is even more interesting is the time allotted for each of these tests. Now you will not have a composite time here, right? You will not have any composite time like in preliminary examination. Here each section will have its own time. So the time allotted for reasoning section is 60 minutes. Then general and banking awareness is 35 minutes, English language is 40 minutes, and data analysis and interpretation is 45 minutes. So the total time that you have is 3 hours. So I think net if you see, you have got 155 questions. You can score a maximum of 200 marks, and the time given to you is 3 hours, which is split across the 4 sections, right? And the highlight here is the English language test, which will follow the objective test of main examination, right? So you can see that there is another section here which is on English language, where you will be tested on letter writing and essay writing, right? There'll be just 2 questions. So what would happen is you will be given 1 question on essay writing and 1 on letter writing. The maximum marks that you can score here is 25, and you'll be given 30 minutes for this. So this again is like the SBIPO main examination, right? So I think in simple words, you can just recall what happened in this SBIPO. Same thing is going to happen here. I can see through the chat that a lot of you are worried about the number of vacancies, right? You're asking me for the number of vacancies. In fact, we had discussed this in the morning stream, right? I told you that last year the number of vacancies were around 8,800, right? Close to 9,000. It could be more, less. In fact, I was hoping it would be more, but surprisingly, as per the indicative data that we have in this year's notification, we have just 3,562 vacancies. I repeat, the total number of vacancies, the total number of jobs that we have are only 3,562, which is clearly less than half of what we had last year, right? Less than half of what we had last year. So guys, number of vacancies have come down, but that should not demotivate you. Because remember, what did we discuss? You just need one vacancy for yourself, the rest are for others, right? Have that attitude, prepare with that attitude, have that confidence in your preparation and your performance, and I'm sure you will come out with flying colors, right? So I had jumped the sequence just to mention the number of vacancies, because I found some of you were really getting impatient about the vacancies there. So guys, 3,562 jobs there to be filled this year, which in my view is huge, right? Still huge in the probationary officer cadre by IBPS. All right, so we're talking about the structure of examinations. Clearly, the main examination pattern has changed, and it will also have a descriptive component now, right? A descriptive component which will involve letter and essay writing. You have to write one letter and one essay. You will be asked 2 questions basically. The time given for this component is 30 minutes, and you can score a maximum of 25 marks. All right, so that's about the structure of exam. Now let me go through the remaining parts. Now there is penalty for wrong answers, which is usually 1/4 of the marks allotted, right? So that anyway Cutoff score. I'm sure cutoff score is really very important, right? I mean, all of you must be wondering what would be the cutoff score. So let me read out what is given here, and then I'll tell you how do you deal with it. So cutoff score here says each candidate will be required to obtain a minimum score in each test of online main examination, and also a minimum total score to be considered to be shortlisted for interview. Depending on the number of vacancies available, cutoffs will be decided. I repeat, cutoffs will be decided. It's a will be, right? It will be decided in the future based on the number of vacancies. And then the candidates will be shortlisted for interview. So if you ask me, what is the cutoff for IBPS exam this year? I have no clue. I'm very honest. And let me tell you, nobody on the planet knows that what is going to be the cutoff for the IBPS PO examination this year, whether it is the preliminary exam or the main exam, because like you all know, cutoff is not pre-decided, right? It will be decided after the examination is over based on the number of vacancies. Okay, so don't worry about that. I mean, that's not in your control. What is in your control is your preparation, so just focus on that. Now what follows the main examination will be interview, right? Interview. So let's look at this. Candidates who have been shortlisted in the main examination for the common written exam of POs or management trainees will be subsequently called for an interview to be conducted by the participating organizations and coordinated by the nodal bank in each state or union territory with the help of IBPS, right? So the third stage after you have cleared the main examination would be a personal interview, which will be conducted by the participating organizations with the help of IBPS and the nodal bank as decided for each state. Okay, and then there are a lot of other there's a lot of other information given there, right? How will you calculate the total marks for interview, right? And things like that. So you can just go through that in detail, right? What are the documents that you need to carry when you go for interview and stuff like that. So just go through that. What else is important? I mean, everything is important that way. You just have to go through the notification. I think let me now talk about what else is given here. Provisional allotment, identity verification, the documents that you have to be, that you have to produce. The biometric data and stuff like that. How to apply? I think let's jump to this component, right? How to apply? So candidates can apply online from 16th August to 5th of September, and no other mode of application will be accepted, right? Candidates, Vikas Soni, I can see your comment here. You say that IBPS.in पे कोई notification नहीं है. I have this official notification in my hand, and the printout of which has been taken from IBPS.in, right? So don't worry, IBPS.in पे notification है. अगर आपको नहीं मिल रही हो तो I would request my team here to please help him out with the direct link so that he can check it on the official website, right? Until this morning it wasn't there, right? In fact, about half an hour ago the notification was not there on the IBPS website, but like I said, it has come only a few minutes back, and here is what we have. Anyway, so you got to apply only online, and there's no other mode of application between 16th of August to 5th of September, and there are some prerequisites to complete your application online, where you need to have your scanned copy of photograph and signature. There's some specifics given with respect to the photograph, right? The size of the photograph and things like that. So just follow all these conditions given in the notification and ensure that you complete your application well in time. Okay. Application fee ₹100 for those who belong to SC, ST and PWD category, and 600 for all others. Yeah. The complete procedure for applying online has been given. The mode of payment is also given here, right? And there's a list of general instructions which I am sure you would go through yourself. Yeah, so a detailed notification out there. I repeat, the official notification for the recruitment of probationary officers and management trainees through the common written examination conducted by IBPS for the year 2017 has been released, and which is what we were discussing for the last 20-25 minutes. I think one last item that I would like to discuss before we close the live stream and before I let you go and read the detailed notification is about the number of vacancies. I'm not really interested in this part because it doesn't really matter in my view, right? You should just feel that there's a job out there for you, right? And you can very well secure it for yourself, provided you have prepared with the right strategy and you have really worked hard. But then, since this is one most commonly asked question, let me also talk about the number of vacancies here. We have already discussed, by the way, that the number of vacancies are 3,592, which is less than half of what it was last year. But here on your screens now, you can see that the indicative number of vacancies across all the participating organizations, across all the categories has been listed. Yeah. So you can see that the list of participating organizations has been given here, number 1 to number 20, and then the number of vacancies in each of these organizations across SC, ST, OBC, the unreserved category is given. Yeah. So the most important part is the total number of vacancies, which is 3,562, 3,562 vacancies across all the participating organizations. Yeah. Of course, the breakup across different organizations and categories has been given here. So let's not read it out and waste our precious time. You can just go through it yourself. Okay. But yeah, don't get dejected or disappointed seeing the number of vacancies coming down. I can see a lot of you commenting on BJP for this. I don't know if it really is because of the change in government, but yeah, you also know the new news that has come up, right? Most of these banks would be merged. Of course, it's a long process. It would take at least 3 to 4 years for the merger to happen. But yeah, the number of nationalized banks would be cut down to, I think, 10 or 12, and the smaller banks would be merged into the other larger ones. Okay. Yeah. So the last point is number of vacancies have, yes, come down, but don't feel disappointed or dejected, because out of these 3,562 jobs, I'm sure there's one for you, and the rest, which is 3,561, let's leave it for others. Right? I mean, prepare with that attitude. You will get your dream job. See, like I always say, someone has very rightly said, right? If you think you can, you will. If you think you cannot, you will not. As simple as that, right? So believe in yourself and prepare hard. I'm sure you'll come out with flying colors. Okay. Yeah. And then list of examination centers and other stuff on page number 15 onwards in the notification. I'm stressing on the page numbers now because some of you had pointed out that notification is not there on the website. I have downloaded and printed this from the website itself, guys. So don't worry, it is official. While there have been a lot of rumors doing rounds over the last couple of weeks or last 3-4 years that that the IBPS PO notification has been declared, but we had always cautioned you not to believe or get trapped in such rumors, right? This is the official IBPS PO notification, and other forms and all have been given towards the end of notification. You can just go through that and just refer to it as, I mean, based on whether it is applicable for you or not. So I think go through that in detail. Let me quickly summarize our discussion. So the official IBPS PO notification has been declared, application for which starts from the 16th of August, closes on the 5th of September. The online preliminary examination will be held from 7th October onwards. 7th, 8th, 14th and 15th are the dates. The main examination will be held on 26th of November, and the provisional allotment, that is your dream bank job, would be allotted from April 2018 onwards. And I'm sure all you guys out there who have been preparing hard for this exam and who will now prepare harder with the right strategy and do the smart work will get your dream job in April 2018 through IBPS. Right? Those were the important dates. One very big change that we have seen in this year's notification is the change in the main examination pattern. It is a complete replica of what happened in SBIPO mains. This year IBPS will also have a descriptive paper wherein you will have to answer questions on letter and essay writing. Just 2 questions. You will be given 30 minutes of time and it will carry a weightage of 25 marks. Okay, so the main examination will be followed by the descriptive paper, and then all those who qualify in the main exam will be called for interview subsequently, right? What else? I think that's the only change we have. Other process remains the same, right? Applications can be made only online. Remember, do not wait for the last date to complete your application, right? The last date is 5th of September, which is Teachers' Day, 5th of September, but complete your application in time. Only if you have not got your final mark sheet or the graduation certificate, wait for that, right? Because it very clearly states that those who have got their final mark sheet only can apply for this recruitment, right? And that too, you should have obtained it on or before 5th of September, because you will have to indicate your percentage of marks in your application there, right? I just see a comment from Neil Kamal. He says, I'm in final year BTech, am I eligible? So Neil Kamal, like I've mentioned earlier and I mentioned now again, that if you will complete your BTech by 5th of September 2017, only then you can appear for this examination. So if you have just started your final year, I'm afraid that you will not be eligible, but don't worry. The same recruitment notification would come next year again, and all I can say is you should start your preparation now itself, right? Whether you are eligible or not this year, kickstart your preparation, because the more you practice, the easier it gets, right? And then very clearly, it's a game of practice. Any bank exam or any competitive exam for that matter is all about practice, right? So kickstart your preparation right away. Get that early bird advantage, because next year when you compete, the competition will be even tougher, right? A lot of people who will not qualify this year will appear for the examination next year again. So that will only add to the number of people vying for these jobs, right? And number of jobs will not change drastically or may come down. So, all signs all indicate that it will only get tougher next year, right? So if you start your preparation now, you will be in a very good position to clear the preliminary round followed by the main examination and then get your dream job. So that's all from my end, guys. I think this is a great news. Congratulations to all those who have been waiting for this notification. I think while we'll celebrate our freedom tomorrow, let's start preparing and celebrate your freedom from unemployability, or celebrate the dream bank job that you'll be getting in April 2018, right? Now, what do I mean by celebrating here? Celebrating as in kickstart your preparation. Remember, in my view, there are only 3 shortcuts to crack these exams. Well, a lot of strategy and all is involved, but there are only 3 shortcuts. Number 1, practice. Number 2, practice. And number 3 is a little more practice. The more you practice, the easier it gets, right? So strategize your preparation. Like I mentioned, we will meet again on Wednesday, which is 16th of August at 6 p.m. To discuss a 50-day study plan for IBPS PO examination. All right. So let's close it here. Thank you all for joining us in this live stream, right? The good news is notification has come out. You can just go through the notification, make sure that today, tomorrow, which is a holiday for Independence Day, you get all the documents in place, everything set. And 16th, as soon as the notification is released, you can start applying for this recruitment process. And then 16th itself, let's meet in the evening to discuss the 50-day study plan, and then you can kickstart your preparation if you haven't done that already. Okay. Meanwhile, if you would wish to explore our programs for your IBPS PO exam preparation, please visit our website talentsprint.com, and there's some exciting offers out there for you. We are also celebrating independence, and in that celebration we have some great offers running out there. Please visit talentsprint.com for more details. Thank you once again for joining us. I wish you all the best for this year's IBPS PO recruitment, and I'm sure the best of you would win, right? So be smart, prepare right, prepare with the right strategy, with the right platform, with the right guidance, and nobody can stop you from achieving your dream bank job. Thank you once again to all of you, and wish you all a very happy Independence Day. See you on Wednesday at 6 p.m.